Hey everybody, and welcome to Binder Minder, and I'm back. You saw our last video. My wife opened up her festival in a box. I've got mine. So we already got kind of an idea what to expect. We've seen the promos and stuff like that, other than the bonus card at least. And yeah, we got a Mystery Booster 2 box in here as well to open up, and I'm pretty excited about it. It is my favorite set, I think, in Magic. It's becoming my favorite set. There's still a few that I like more, but this one's just, as far as opening it up, it's always fun. There's always some cool stuff, and you're always surprised. There's always stuff that you wouldn't think was worth something that ends up being worth something. So I'm here for it. So get all this out, get this stuff out of the way. And we'll go ahead and start up by checking out the promo real quick. All right, we got In Residence. So it's Las Vegas 2026 Festival or MagicCon Festival box. So of course the one custom promo card is always going to be very specific to that location, and In Residence is very Vegas. There's a concentrated Sphinx and a retro foil and a cool looking retro foil counterspell too. And I love retro foils. Not everything's foil. So like this part's not foil. The text isn't foil, so it's easy to read. And you just get this flair. And I do wish they would do that more. All right, the other is Viva Los Rakdos. Viva Los Rakdos in foil. Traditional foil, by the way, I want to point out. The secret layers are no longer in that rainbow foil, traditional foil, which is a bummer. Like, I'm a hardcore pick up the foil version every time kind of guy, and the regular foil is just not as good. It's harder to see, it's darker, and I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like that they've gone away from the other foiling. As far as bonus cards, since we've already seen this, it looks like the bonus cards are a human. I don't know if there's any slimes against humanities, because I know that's been a chase card for a while. I haven't seen any of that posted up yet. But Talisman of Indulgence, Dark Petition, that was really cool. Lightning Greaves, always a good card. Beseech the Mirror, also great looking art on that. Light Up the Stage, and Scholar of New Horizons. And I'll tell you, I saw somebody post on Reddit. They had opened up 8 of these, which, by the way, is crap. You can only order 2, so they had to use multiple accounts. But they posted up, and the edges were in terrible shape. And I'll tell you, if it'll focus, the edges for these things coming out of the box, at least this corner, not all that good. You can see the white and stuff on it. Kind of a bummer. Anyhow, put these off to the side, and we'll dive into this. I think there's 24 packs in these boxes. There's not 30. But we will dive into this, see what we got. As I always mention, I warn you guys a couple things. Mystery Booster 2 boxes. They have one foil per box typically. They have one foil per box typically. You can sometimes get 0, and sometimes you can get 2. I don't know if you can get 3, but that said, there's a white bordered card. There's a couple good pulls in the white borders, like Displacer Kitten, Urza Saga, stuff like that. And then that foil is usually going to be the bigger hit in your set. Even the cheap ones can be $15, $30 for the cheap ones, and the more expensive ones can get up there. I believe the Urza's Saga is like $250. Arnold, no, you're not jumping down this way. The Oracle of Alpha is like $150, and right now, at least when I'm looking at it, Titiana, Protector of Argoth, and I think somebody's bought it out or something's going on there, but there's only 5 listed, and the cheapest one is $800, so it's just crazy. I don't think any of it sold. Let me see what the most expensive one that sold. So one sold for $300 today. So it looks like that price is going to jump up. It's currently showing a market price of $136, but there are some other ones that are pretty good cards to pull. I'd love to get a Cabal Coffers. That's a white border card that I've been looking for. Dragon's Approach in the future site that's only available in foil. Would love to get that because I do like those any number of cards. And then, you know, Command Tower, anything like that in foil would be pretty cool as well. But the big thing is most of the cards in the set are just list cards, and you can't just pull up a listing of those cards on TCG Player without getting a lot of other old list cards mixed in. So it's really hard to tell what you're going to come across, and frankly, there's so many. I think there's like 700-800 or more. There's an absolute ton. There's an absolute ton of cards available in the set, and a lot of them, even in the uncommons and even the commons and stuff, are worth more than you would expect because they haven't been reprinted in years, stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that will surprise us. If you're gonna see cards that you're like, oh, I know that's an expensive card, I'm not gonna have a clue. Yeah, until we scan everything, there's gonna be a bunch of bangers that we miss out on. So anyhow, what I have seen, and I don't know if it's gonna be the case this time, but typically, if we see a foil card earlier on, like mid to the top, there's usually a second foil in there. I almost always see the foil. If there's only one, I see it at the end of the box. So that'll give you at least an idea of what to expect as we're going into this. Anyhow, my wife did fight with opening these packs, so we'll see if we can't get these things open easily. I don't know where she was having trouble with that. But so we're going to dive through it. Moon Circuit Hacker, Hero's Downfall, Deep Reconnaissance, Plated Crusher, Terrain Generator, Dragonlair Spider, and, well, that's a good first pack. Displacer Kitten. This is the most expensive card in White Border right now because this card is going crazy. And then our last card is going to be Hydroblast. You got Catch of the Day for the test card. Test cards, none of them are worth anything. Unexpected Windfall. Prosperous Innkeeper. It's got a bend in it. That's weird. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Yeah, there you go. Signal Pest. Sledgehammer Witch. Tarnished Citadel. And Thassa's Oracle. That is a great pull. It's not foil. Doesn't need to be foil. In this case, that is a great pull. Processing Plant. And I'm going to pull the rare out of this stack too. It's 38 right now. All right, next pack. So that last pack, Thassa's Oracle, was a great pull in the future site. So far, pretty good, even in just the stuff that I know. What is this? Devrel Rogue Shadow Mage. That's kind of cool. Thopter Engineer. Narset's Reversal. Wasteland for a White Border. That's a good card. We got a Gush. That one doesn't want to open. Banishing Light, another Moon Circuit Hacker, Wall of Corpses, Dothy Horror, Chaos Channeler, One with Nature. I pulled a Dingus Staff. There we go, Liliana Deathmage, Dak Phaon. I think that's maybe the only Planeswalker that you didn't pull in your box. Maddening Hex. Diagraph Horde, Aftershock, Spite Bellows. Jungle Lion. Tainted Wood. I got a foil in the back here. Gahird, Conclave Exile, Sword of the Meek, and then we got a Flutterstorm for the foil. I believe I pulled a Flutterstorm in the Secrets of Strixhaven too, right? That's one of the, yeah. Bolt Fire. I forgot Pact of Negation is in here. So foil Flutterstorm is a good pull. Nevermaker, Freed from the Real, Lash of Malice, Blight Widow, Elemental Bond, Channeler, Nightmare Adept, Arcane Lighthouse, that's not a bad card, and Singer Vampire. Yes, yeah, I don't know how else to say that. Hey, look, finally one. There we go. Core, Cartographer, Settle Beyond Reality, Spell Stutter, Sprite, Rush of Knowledge, Fire Imp, Conclave Mentor. Alright, Expansion and Explosion for the rare, Colossal Dreadmaw, and Energy Flux. Hope and Glory, Rambunctious Mutt, Nevermaker, Skywatch Adept, Keeper of the Dead, Iron Hoof Ox, Eiley, Eternal Pilgrim for the rare, Veil of Summer, and Norwood Priestess. It's kind of a funny card. Common Black Removal. Dauntless Bodyguard. Body Double. Body Doubles. There's a copy card, yeah. Havoc Jester. Bushwhack. Bad Moon. Not a bad card. Stony Silence. And a Serum Powder. Destroy Evil, Spellstutter Strike, there's Sprite, Bile Drake, Beseech the Queen, Arms Dealer, Trumpeting Herd, Evolution Charm, Timeless Dragon, saw my wife pull that. I don't know that I want to say that one out loud for her. A second Displacer Kitten, that is crazy, that's a good pull. And then Hull Breacher. That Displacer Kitten, the price on that seems, it's just crazy that it's up that much because it was not that expensive not that long ago. So it's just blinking. Yeah, that makes sense why it'd be popping off. But I love the art for that though. Planar Disruption, Rescind, Mystic Subdual, Revenge of Ravens, Nullhide Ferox, Cataxian Probe, and a City of Brass. That was a good pull, but I think it's dropped quite a bit since it was put in the Ninja Turtle pre-con. Echo Tracer, Ultimate Price, Onslaught. Gotta love when they make these cards. Another one of those. It's a card named after a set. Oftentimes the set is actually named after the card. There's a bunch of those in Magic. Sha Young, the Silent Tempest. Another Wasteland. And then a Relic of Protogenesis. Honey, I found your card. It's Pinchy McStingbutt. It's a scorpion. So whenever he deals combat damage to a player, conjure a card named Death of 1,000 Stings, Lethal Sting, or Stinging Shot at a random into your hand and reveal it. Banishing Stroke, Turnabout, Tangle, Cavalier of Flame, Arcane Lighthouse. It's the second one of those we pulled. So it's an uncommon, but I think it's like $4. Temper Orb, Torpor Orb. That's a good example of some of the cards in here that it might be uncommons, but they're not always the worst card. Field of Souls, Divide by Zero, Diabolic Tutor, Goblin War Driver. There's Shuku, that was good for like a couple months. Rite of Replication for the rare, Blazing Rudawalla, and then Demonic Consultation with the coolest looking rabbit ever for our future site. Love that rabbit. Battle Screech, Hive Stirrings, Siren Storm Tamer, Noxious Ghoul, Blaze, Corrosive Vorine, Golgari Charm, Dothy Voidwalker for our rare, and then Karuga, the Macrosage, is a Dinosaur Hippo for the white border, and Nomads in Core for the future site. And you got that Essence of Ajani again. I wonder if between all of the boxes we've opened, if we have the whole set of test cards yet. Abolish, Curiosity. That one can go infinite in like 1,000 ways. Cling to Dust, Garrick's Uprising, Winding Way, Painted Bluffs, Soulfire Grandmaster for a Mythic, Colossal Dreadmaw again in the white border, and then Crashing Footfalls for the future site. Prison Term, that's a new one. Sir Conrad the Grim, always a hated commander. Compost, Scurry Oak, Murderous Redcap, Desertion for a rare. Ether Swarm Canonist, the white border, and an Elvish Reclaimer. Pokey the Scallywag, the Brushwag Pirate. True Love's Kiss, Valorous Steed, Omen of the Sea, Raised Dead, Timberland Ancient, Quicksand, Shared Summons for a rare, Stony Silence for the white border, that's a rare as well, and then Protostaff for the Future Sight. Aven Mind Sensor, Voyager Drake, Elspeth's Nightmare, Heartless Act, Charge Through, Heartstone, Lisa Shroud of Dusk for a rare, and then another Planeswalker, Sarkhan Fireblood. That's a mythic, and then Back to Basics for Future Sight. Enclave Cryptologist, Endless Scream, Terror, Swelter, Pharaoh Hydra, God Farah's Statue, and then I saw my wife pull this, Murderous Rider. It's a good card. Cataxian Probe, and then a Lightning Greaves for the every once in a while you just get one that just fights you. Dawnbringer Cleric, Shelter, Smash to Dust, Electrostatic Field, Seed Guide Ash, Scuttlemutt, Nexus of Fate. Always good to see. I already explained this on her box. She pulled this, but this was a buy a box, and it was a very highly sought after card, even though it was unique to the buy a box. So it made it very expensive. Blazing Rootwalla, and then Tinderwall in the Future Sight. All right, we got 3 packs left. Lone Lion, Mana Breach, Viral Drink. I feel we've seen a few of those. Wall of Corpses, Flame Javelin, Broken Wings, Path of Discovery for a rare, Tendrils of Agony for white border, and then a Life Tap in the Future Sight. Okay, Inspiring Overseer, Deep Channel Mentor, Raven's Crime, You Find Some Prisoners, Ancient Silverback, Llanowar Visionary. She pulled 2 of these. Clythos, I think that's how you say it, God of Destiny, the Mythic, Mishra's Bauble for the white border, and then Hydroblast. And last pack. Wonder if we'll get a second foil or not. It's not looking promising, but you never know. Elite Scale Guard, Mana Breach again, Disturbing Conversion, Moment of Defiance, Lava Hounds, Ricochet Trap, Elite Cat Warrior, pretty cool looking card. Struggle for Skimfar, Pearl Shard, a different god. This is Iros, God of Victory. We got a Keurig, the Macro Sage, again in the white border, and then Gush, non in foil. So we got 1 foil, but we did pretty well. We got a couple pretty good cards, including those 2 Displacer Kittens, so it should be pretty good. So get everything scanned in, and we'll be back and see how we did. Okay, I'm back. Got everything scanned in, got everything sorted up and sleeved if they're over $1 or $2. Yeah, so, I mean, for starters, we saw some duplication in my wife's box. We saw people on Reddit talk about having a lot of duplication, and I definitely saw duplication here. Um, I think if I went through and sorted out my stuff a little bit more, I scanned everything, but I haven't actually like put these in order by color yet. So I would imagine we might even see more duplication in there, especially in the uncommons. But that said, our stack of uncommons here, if I don't make a mess here, pretty good size. And then the stack of commons is bigger. I say it every time we open up a Mystery 2 booster box. These things do have good cards, like uncommons and stuff. These aren't your normal, 5-10 cent cheap cards that you're not gonna, run in any deck. These are the cards that you're typically picking up and using in that aren't the main cards in your deck. There's tons of stuff in here that you're gonna use. I love these because I fill in a lot of gaps in my decks just because I open these things up. That said, you do get some stuff that you're not going to use unless you want to have fun with these test cards. You get the test cards. And as far as lands go, I didn't pull any of the white bordered lands, which is unusual. I have some lands in the valuable stuff. But as far as the non-valuable lands, you got one Snowland, one Bluff, Tainted Tainted Woods, and here's a stack of cards that are rares and mythics that are not over $1. You see some duplication there. Stony Silence. Pretty sure there's 2 of these in here as well. If not, I think maybe my wife opened up one and I did too. Nope, it's right there. So there's that duplication. A few usable cards. Murderous Rider's really good, especially in the zombie decks. And then this is the stuff that's in the $1 to $2 range. I sleeve these things up because a lot of these, they sometimes pop back up in price. I had to keep those separate. Diabolic Tutor. Terrain Generator. There's a few of them here that are pretty useful. And then of course, most of the money is in this stack. This is everything that's over $2. And so this, I've got these sorted out, starting at $2 for Mishra's Bauble, $2.04 for Scurry Oak, and Noxious Ghoul at $2.04. The Dothian Brace is $2.05. Dak Faden is $2.30. Maddening Hex is $2.37. Steel of the Guy Head is $2.38. Mobilize is $2.95. Hearthstone is $3.12. Unexpected Windfall is $3.24. Elemental Bond is $3.39. Aethersworn Colonist or Canonist is $3.55. Hull Breacher is $3.86. Now we got 2 Gitaxian Probes. These are $4.63. 2 Gushes at $4.89. My wife also got a foil one of these. And 2 Careful Studies. This is where you're really seeing that duplication. These are $5 each. Tinderwall at $5.01. Tortured Existence at $5.03. Price of Progress, which by the way, if you run a whole bunch of basic lands and your friends run all kinds of non-basic lands, Price of Progress deals 2 damage to each player for each non-basic land he or she owns. That could be pretty crazy, especially for 2 mana. Spellslitter's Sprite is $5.30. We have 2 of those. Relic of Progenitus is $5.30. Dothy Voidwalker, always a good one, $5.31. Back to the basics. I'm surprised I didn't get duplicates of this because I've got a stack of these from previous times. $5.38. I got 2 Hydroplasts. Those are $5.46. Tangle, $5.50. Tarnished Citadel, this is $5.78. Cavalier of Flame is $5.79. Besiege the Queen is $5.95. Narset's Reversal is $5.97. Lightning Greaves is $6.31. Arcane Lighthouse, we got 2 of those. Those are $7.10 each. So when you're getting duplication of cards that are $7 each, that's not bad. And these are pretty useful sometimes. Elvish Reclaimer is $7.11. Nexus of Fate, $7.46. This is also a really good card. I mean, gives you an extra turn. And it's a little bit harder to come across. Freed from the Real, this is $7.64. Crystal Vein, this is really good in cards and decks that have recursion, where you can pull the stuff out of the graveyard, because you can constantly sack this and add 2 colorless mana. That's $7.73. Demonic Consultation and the Future Sight is $8.04. Topor Orb is $9.30. Sedgemoor Witch is $9.95. Veil of Summer is an even $10 in that white bordered treatment. Iroas, God of Victory, is $15.88. We got 2 Wastelands at $18.66. Again, duplication. There's a good side to duplication. If you have decent luck, you get duplicates of the good cards. But the downside is you have less opportunities to get a variety. City of Brass is $21.66. I don't know if I said the name on these or the price, but these are $18.66 each. We got a Thassa's Oracle, $25.67. I was really happy to see this thing, because this is used in so many CEDH decks, and I've been wanting to start playing a little bit more in CEDH decks. And Displacer Kitten, this is $39.33. That's the most expensive white border card now, and we got 2 of them. That duplication came in handy here. And then last up, our foil was Flutterstorm. This is a pretty good card, not like the biggest hit, but it's a good hit. Oh, you cannot complain about that. That's $59.70. So for my booster box, not counting the secret lair, when I scanned everything in, over $1 is $498.12. So almost $500 just in the dollar or more. And then on the other end of the spectrum, once you figure in all the bulk stuff, all the other cards, it was $564. So just for comparison, my wife's box with all the bulk and everything was $503. This one's $564. So they're still pretty close together, but I mean, when you get a better, she got 2 foils, I got 1, but I got a better foil, and then I got 2 Displacer Kittens, and that really, Displacer Kitten really just makes all the difference, right? Get 2 of those, even just getting 1, but those make all the difference, because that's those 2 cards. It's $80 or just under. So then, I mean, I talked about it in her video as well, but the prices for these secret lairs currently are just crazy. Besieged Shamir is $60 alone, or $50 some dollars alone, and some of the others are $20 or more. So there's really no indication as to where these are going to land, but I will tell you these are going to be pretty good, especially Consecrated Sphinx. And honestly, I really love this foil counterspell. Like, if this goes cheap, I might pick up more. I do like that. And then I got a Scholar of the New Horizons. When we check the pricing, so these are obviously bonus cards are not, pricing is available yet, but I believe this card was like $6 without it being retro frame or foil. So this might actually be a pretty decent hit. It remains to be seen as to what the chased bonus cards are going to be, but I don't think we did too bad. I mean, $500 in the dollar or more, not counting the secret lair, which is definitely going to be worth something as well. Even if we looked at the base versions of these cards, these are still pretty good cards. Specifically Consecrated Sphinx and that Besieged Shamir. And then $564 in the total price. That's pretty good for a $200 festival in a box. We didn't get to go to Vegas for the MagicCon, but we did get to enjoy this on the weekend of MagicCon, which was pretty nice, to be honest. Throw on a couple of videos of the events, check out some of the new cards that are being announced and stuff. And hey, we have our own little MagicCon here in the house, I guess, without having to walk around and deal with all the people everywhere. I don't think I can complain too bad. So that said, that was pretty good. We do have some more videos upcoming. At least I will have a mail day. I haven't done a mail day in a while, and I've got a stack of stuff and I've got some more stuff coming. So at minimum, we'll have a mail day, and I know we have a secret lair that's on order, but I'm not sure when it's going to ship. So there will be a couple other things, at least in the upcoming future. And as always, there's a few more things that pop up. My wife and I both are notorious for randomly deciding to order something, and like, you know, a couple videos ago, her picking up another collector booster box of Secrets of Strixhaven. So, and frankly, we're not that far off from the next set. So, anyhow, this is Binder Minder. As always, thanks for watching. To put us in your binder like I'm going to with these, you just need to like and subscribe. You can ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos. And you can catch us on our social media, which is down in the description below. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.